Dear my fellow Nigerians, I have refrained from engaging with vitriol, scorn and suspicion directed at me online because I was not raised to trade in lies or to indulge in false narratives. I did not do so as a child, and I will not begin now as a grown man. Because of my father's involvement in Nigerian politics, there has been a persistent curiosity and, at times, a malicious obsession with me. Why? I do not know. I have no social media presence and no interest in maintaining one, so I rarely correct these falsehoods. But perhaps it is time I address them. I understand that gossip follows those connected to public life, but let me remind you, my father is the one in politics, not me. To assume that my life or choices are somehow political statements is a flawed and childish calculation. It reveals more about the pettiness of those spreading such narratives than it does about me or my father. This pattern has become all too familiar. Individuals opposed to my father seize ordinary photos of me, images that are neither hidden nor secret, and repackage them with false stories.
Every single day, minister is going to tell me don't politicize this. It was never politics. But they keep coming for me. They keep coming for my family. They keep coming for your father. They keep coming for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the greatest president in the history of Nigeria. The only president that has carried young people along from when he was governor to when he became president.
Nigeria's politics is not just about politicians anymore. Even their children are being dragged into the spotlight. But today, two sons of Nigeria's most talked about leaders have become the subject of debates. Oseloka Obi, the quiet son of Peter Obi, and Seyi Tinubu, the outspoken son of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. One has chosen silence and acting. The other embraces politics by defending his father as the greatest president in Nigeria's history. But Nigerians online are now asking, whose son represents true humility and whose son is trapped in privilege? For months, Oseloka Obi has been attacked. Social media trolls have called him names, circulated false stories, and even labeled him with damaging rumors. Many of these attacks are not about him, but about trying to destroy his father's image. Now, for the first time, Oseloka is speaking. In a viral audio, he says,
"These are not revelations, they are not exposés, they are simply misrepresentations, fiction spun from pictures. I have seen this happen to others, but experiencing it myself repeatedly is deeply unsettling. Still, I want it to be known clearly, what is being circulated is gossip. I'm an actor and a writer by profession. Many are surprised, given the businessman, entrepreneur, and economist my father is. I'm sure he imagined I might follow that path. Yet, though my career is far from what he envisioned, he fully supports me. Unlike many children of Nigerian politicians, I have never relied on nepotism. I was raised to know that my father's wealth is not mine and that I must build my own life. My chosen path is in theatre and filmmaking, so far from the world he inhabits. An industry that embraces diversity of class, race, sexuality, and identity. I portray characters vastly different from myself. Yet some online use these roles against me and my father, presenting fiction as fact. I trust any rational person can see how absurd this is. More importantly, Nigeria has far greater issues than idle speculation about what Peter Obi's son is doing. Our nation still struggles with insecurity, a weakened economy, crumbling infrastructure, failing healthcare, and politicians who steal from the people they swore to serve. And yet, for some, the priority is to spread gossip about who Peter Obi's son appears with in a photo. This is a distraction from the real crisis that matters to all Nigerians. The truth is simple. Peter Obi's son appears in photos with his friends and his work colleagues, nothing more. If people wish to invent otherwise, I hope they sleep soundly, knowing they are spreading lies. Nor I or my father are perfect men, and as a father and son we have our differences, but I can attest to his integrity and his relentless desire to lead Nigeria out of its current hardships. In our home as a child, the lesson was always clear. Face your work, Do it honestly and contribute to the good of others. That is what I will continue to do. So to those who attempt to distract us with lies, I beg you, stop pulling attention away from Nigeria's urgent problems. My father has my vote, not because he is my father, but because he is the right man for the job. If others wish to go low, invent scandals, or attack me to wound him, they are free to do so. But we will go high, and we will continue to focus on the future of Nigeria. With love, Oseloka Obi.
It's really sad how people keep fabricating lies against me. I have no interest in politics. My father is the politician, not me. Too often, my pictures and actions are misinterpreted just to damage his agenda. I am tired of it all, and that's why I have to set the record straight. Notice the tone, not boastful, not arrogant, but simply a young man defending his personal life. Nigerians are praising him for standing firm without being dragged into the mud of politics. On Twitter, one user wrote, "See the difference. Obi's son just wants peace. He doesn't need politics to define him." Another said, "They can't find fault with Peter Obi, so they attack his family. Shameful." Meanwhile, in Adamawa State, Seyi Tinubu was addressing a gathering of youths. In a video that went viral, he boldly declared, "It was never politics, but they keep coming for me. They keep coming for my family. They keep coming for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the greatest president in the history of Nigeria." This statement has divided Nigerians. Some see it as a son's royalty. Others say it shows arrogance, especially at a time when many Nigerians are suffering from inflation, subsidy removal, and insecurity. One Twitter user wrote, "Imagine calling Tinubu the greatest president in history when people can't even afford food." Another replied, "Seyi Tinubu is only enjoying the benefits of power. He cannot understand what ordinary Nigerians are going through." Now, let's praise the both moments side by side. Oseloka Obi says he wants no part in politics. He only wants to live his life, pursue his acting career, and stay away from the chaos. His biggest complaint is that people keep dragging him into battles that are not his. Seyi Tinubu, on the other hand, stands firmly inside politics, positioning himself as his father's defender and going as far as rewriting history by crowning Tinubu the greatest president Nigeria has ever had. This contrast has sparked a wave of conversations. Nigerians are now comparing humility versus entitlement, reality versus privilege. Some comments online captured it perfectly. "Oseloka, leave me out of politics. Seyi, my dad is the greatest." That's the summary of Nigeria. One son is defending himself. The other is defending power. Which one do you respect? The reactions have been explosive. On Facebook, thousands praised Oseloka for not dragging himself into his father's campaign. On TikTok, clips of Seyi Tinubu's speech are going viral with sarcastic captions, "Greatest president indeed," followed by crying emojis. On Twitter, hashtags like #Oseloka Obi and #Seyi Tinubu has been trending as Nigerians debate the role of politicians' children in shaping public perception. One viral tweet reads, "This is why people respect Obi's family. They don't flout power. They don't boast. They just live their lives." Another counter tweet says, "You may hate Tinubu, but at least his son is royal." That's what family is about. But beyond the drama, here is the biggest question. Should the children of politicians even be dragged into national debates? Oseloka insists, "I'm not in politics, leave me out." Yet, he is constantly attacked. Seyi, on the other hand, has willingly stepped into politics, standing as his father's voice. But in doing so, he has tied himself to the same criticisms and backlash that Nigerians direct at the presidency. So, Nigerians are asking, in a country where leaders are struggling to prove themselves, do their children reflect humility or arrogance? Do they add value to their father's image, or do they create more controversy? For now, one thing is clear. Oseloka Obi's calm defense has earned him sympathy. Seyi Tinubu's bold defense has earned him criticisms. And in this battle of sons, Nigerians are making their voices heard. What do you think? Which son represents leadership better? Oseloka or Seyi? Drop your comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more. This is Chinick TV.